Have you ever noticed how two people can walk the exact same path, same education, same job title, even the same paycheck, but 10 years later, one is enjoying choices, freedom, and peace of mind, while the other is stuck in a cycle of stress, debt, and just getting by? It's easy to blame luck, talent, or even the economy, but the truth is, those aren't the real deciding factors. The real difference hides in the small, everyday decisions, the habits that quietly shape your future, and the mindset that drives every financial move you make. Because here's the hard truth. Wealth isn't built in a single big moment. It's built in the daily details. The coffee you skip, the investment you make, the plan you stick to when no one's watching. And that's exactly what we're breaking down today. Why some people stay broke no matter how much they earn, and how you can flip that script and step into wealth-building mode starting right now. 1. The money myth. One of the biggest financial lies we've all been told sounds something like this. If I could just make more money, all my problems would disappear. It feels logical, right? More income should equal more freedom. But here's the reality. Wealth has very little to do with what you earn, and everything to do with what you keep, how you manage it, and the way you think about money. I've met people pulling in six-figure salaries, the kind of money most of us dream about, and yet they were drowning in debt, constantly stressed, and secretly living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because as their income grew, so did their spending. Bigger paycheck, bigger house. Fancier car, more treat-yourself moments. They weren't building wealth. They were just upgrading their expenses. And on the flip side, I know people who never earned what society would call big money. Teachers, small business owners, even junior employees. But over the years, they quietly built a safety net, invested consistently, and created financial freedom. Their secret wasn't a lucky break. It was discipline, patience, and the decision to prioritize their future over temporary pleasures. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. More money doesn't solve money problems. It magnifies them. If you don't learn how to manage $1,000 wisely, $10,000 or even $100,000 won't magically fix things. You'll just have bigger problems with more zeros attached. Wealth doesn't come from the size of your paycheck. It comes from the choices you make with whatever paycheck you have right now. 2. Broke mindset versus wealth mindset. Let's break it down. The broke mindset says, I just got paid. What can I buy? It's reactive. It's short-term. It's about chasing the quick dopamine hit of buying something new. Clothes, gadgets, nights out, just to feel like the money was worth the grind. For someone stuck here, payday isn't a chance to build. It's a chance to escape. But the escape is temporary, and by the next week, they're back to stress and survival mode. The wealth mindset, on the other hand, asks, I just got paid. How can I make this money work for me? It's proactive. It's about growth, about planting seeds today that will multiply tomorrow. Instead of looking for instant pleasure, it looks for long-term value, saving, investing, or putting money towards skills that create more opportunities. I'll be honest with you, when I got my very first real paycheck, I didn't think like that. I thought I had arrived. I bought a shiny new watch to show off at work, treated friends to an expensive dinner, and for that week, I felt rich. But by the next week, my account was empty again. That watch didn't increase my income. That dinner didn't give me peace of mind. All it gave me was a temporary high that faded as quickly as my balance. And here's the painful lesson. Wealth isn't about how you feel the moment money hits your account. It's about how you position yourself for the months, years, and decades ahead. That's when I realized something powerful. The difference between broke and wealthy isn't income. It's delayed gratification. Wealthy people don't deny themselves forever. They just understand timing. They're willing to wait, to invest, to let their money grow before they enjoy the fruits. Because when you delay gratification, the reward is 10 times sweeter, and unlike a new gadget or dinner out, it keeps paying you back. So here's the real question to ask yourself every payday. Am I feeding my feelings or feeding my future? 3. Delayed gratification and planting seeds. Here's the thing about money. Spending it often feels like progress. You walk out of a store with shopping bags, and it feels like you've accomplished something. You buy the newest phone, and for a few days you feel upgraded. But most of the time, that's not progress. It's just feeding your feelings, not your future. Think of money like seeds. Every dollar you hold back from unnecessary spending is a seed with potential. And when you plant that seed, whether in savings, investments, or even learning a new skill, it doesn't just sit there. It grows. Not instantly, not overnight, but steadily, silently, beneath the surface. Now compare that with blowing your money on impulse buys. That's like eating the seed instead of planting it. Sure, it fills you up for a moment, but it leaves you with nothing to grow tomorrow. Wealthy people understand that saying not now isn't a punishment. It's power. It's focus. When they skip the impulse purchase, they're not depriving themselves. They're redirecting that energy into something that will bear fruit for years. Here's an example. Imagine someone takes $200 every month and invests it instead of spending it on random stuff. Over time, with compounding, that little habit could grow into tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands. On the other hand, the person who spends that same $200 every month on takeout or gadgets has nothing to show for it except old receipts and clutter. So the question is this: when money lands in your hands, are you planting seeds that will multiply, or are you just snacking on them for temporary satisfaction? Because the truth is, your future self will either thank you for the seeds you planted or resent you for the ones you ate. 4. The power of planning. Picture this. You're flying a plane with no destination, no map, no fuel strategy. At first, it feels like freedom. The sky is wide open. You can go anywhere. But soon, reality hits. You're burning fuel with no idea where you're headed, panic sets in, and before you know it, you're stranded. That's exactly what life looks like without a financial plan. Money comes in, money goes out, and at the end of every month you're staring at your bank balance thinking, wait, where did it all go? For a long time, I avoided the word budget because it sounded restrictive, like it meant living small, saying no to fun, and cutting joy out of life. But here's the truth that flipped everything for me. A budget isn't a cage, it's a compass. It doesn't limit your freedom, it directs it. It's not about saying no to life. It's about saying yes to what actually matters. Think of it this way. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will wander off and disappear. But when you give it a purpose, whether it's paying off debt, investing for growth, or saving for something important, suddenly every dollar feels like it's working for you instead of against you. I still remember the first time I tracked my spending seriously. I thought I didn't have enough income to save, but the numbers told a different story. I wasn't broke because I earned too little. I was broke because I was wasting money on autopilot, random lunches, subscriptions I forgot about, impulse buys that felt good for 5 minutes but drained my account for weeks. When I finally had a plan, something incredible happened. I felt in control. And let me tell you, control feels better than chaos every single time. Because when you plan, your money stops being a source of stress and starts becoming a tool for freedom. 5. Working for money versus making money work. Here's another trap that quietly keeps millions of people broke. Believing the only way to earn more money is to work harder, longer, or pick up another job. That's called trading hours for dollars. And it's fragile. Because the moment you stop working, whether you're sick, burned out, or just want a break, the money stops too. It's a hamster wheel. You run faster, but you're still stuck in a cage. Wealthy people, however, play a completely different game. They use money as a tool. They don't just work for money. They make money work for them. How? By investing, by building assets, and by creating streams of income that continue flowing even while they sleep. Let me put it this way. Imagine every dollar you own is a tiny employee. If you spend it, that employee is gone forever. But if you invest it wisely, that dollar goes out into the world, works for you, and eventually brings back friends. Over time, if you send out enough of these little workers, you got an army earning for you. And suddenly, your wealth grows even when you're not grinding. I still remember the first time I saw compound interest in action. I was investing such tiny amounts in an index fund that it honestly felt pointless, like dropping coins in a jar. But I stuck with it. Months turned into years. And when I look back, those little contributions had quietly multiplied. That's when it hit me. The real power isn't in the size of the investment at the start. It's in the consistency and the time you give it to grow. Here's the difference. The broke mindset thinks, I need to work harder to make more. The wealth mindset thinks, how can I get my money to work harder for me? One path burns you out. The other builds you up. And the best part? You don't need to be rich to start. Even small amounts, saved, invested, and allowed to grow, can set you on the path to freedom. Because at the end of the day, your time should buy you money, not the other way around. 6. The cost of avoidance. Here's something most people don't talk about. One of the most dangerous habits that keeps people broke isn't overspending. It's avoidance. Think about it. How many times have you avoided opening a bank statement because you already knew it was going to stress you out? Or pushed aside your credit card bill because facing that balance felt too heavy? Or told yourself, I'll figure out investing later because the term sounded complicated? This is the silent killer of financial freedom. Avoidance doesn't solve problems. It multiplies them. The late fees add up, the debt grows, the stress builds. And here's the hard truth. What you avoid ends up controlling you. I know this because I used to do it too. I was intimidated by money. I thought finance was a secret language only experts understood. So I ignored my statements, skimmed over my debts, and just hoped things would somehow work out. But hope isn't a strategy. The turning point came when I picked up a simple personal finance book. Nothing complicated, just the basics. I committed to learning one small concept at a time. And something surprising happened. The more I learned, the less afraid I became. And the less afraid I was, the more confident I grew. That confidence gave me control, and that control gave me peace of mind. Here's what I learned. You don't need to know everything about money. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need to master Wall Street. And you don't need to have it all figured out today. You just need to start right where you are with what you have. Because knowledge is like light. Once you shine it into the dark corners of your finances, the monsters shrink. So ask yourself, are you letting fear and avoidance control your money? Or are you ready to take back control, one step at a time? 7 Days Money Clarity Challenge. All right, let's get practical. I want you to join me in a 7-day Money Clarity Challenge, a simple reset that can completely change how you see your money. Step 1. Track every single dollar you spend for the next 7 days. Not just the big bills. Everything. That $2 coffee, the taxi you grab instead of walking, the late-night snack run. Write it down or use a free app. Why? Because what gets measured gets managed. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because they don't actually know where their money goes. Seeing it on paper is like turning the lights on in a messy room. Step 2. Identify 3 money leaks. These are the little silent drains that quietly steal your wealth. For me, it was food delivery. I realized I was spending enough on takeout each month to fund a small investment account. For someone else, it might be in used subscriptions, online impulse shopping, or even that daily soda that adds up over time. Don't beat yourself up, just spot them. Step 3. Set one simple savings goal. It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's $50, maybe it's $100. The point isn't the amount. It's giving your money direction. Write it down. Give it a purpose, like this is for my emergency fund, or this is my first investment, and commit to it for 7 days. The act of assigning your money a mission transforms it from random spending into intentional progress. Here's the truth. Awareness is power. Once you shine a light on your spending, you can finally start to direct it instead of wondering where it disappeared. And when you see that you can control your money, even in small ways, it builds momentum. That momentum is the star of wealth. So, will you take the challenge? 8. Smashing excuses. Let's be real for a second. Most people don't stay broke because of a lack of opportunity. They stay broke because of the excuses they repeat to themselves like a broken record. Let's smash the biggest ones right now. Excuse number 1. I don't earn enough. Yes, earning more helps. But some of the world's best wealth builders started with very little. I've seen teachers, janitors, and junior employees who quietly invested small amounts and over time ended up financially free. It's not about the size of the paycheck. It's about the discipline behind it. If you can't manage $500 wisely, you won't magically manage $5,000 or $50,000. Excuse number 2. It's too late for me. This one is powerful because it feels true. But I know people who only started saving and investing in their 50s and still retire with comfort and dignity. You don't need decades. You just need a decision and consistency. The time will pass anyway. The only question is, will you let it pass with excuses, or will you use it to build something? Excuse number 3, finance is too complicated. Wall Street and the media make it seem intimidating, but the basics are simple and timeless. Spend less than you earn, save consistently, and invest in what you understand. You don't have to know everything on day one. Just start with one step. The more you learn, the less scary it becomes. Excuses don't protect you. They trap you. The day you replace excuses with action is the day your financial life begins to change. 9. The wealth mindset shift. Here's the real truth about wealth that most people don't want to hear. It isn't built in one big jackpot moment. It's built in small, boring, consistent actions stacked over time. Wealth is saying no to impulse spending when it would feel good to say yes. It's putting $100 into an investment instead of blowing it on something forgettable. It's sitting down once a month to review your plan when everyone else is winging it. And here's the kicker. Your beliefs shape your behavior. If you believe money is always out of your control, that you're just bad with money, or that the system is rigged, then you'll stay stuck. But if you believe you can learn, improve, and take control step by step, you will. Wealthy people aren't born with some special money gene. They're just consistent. They do the unglamorous work, quietly, day after day. And that consistency beats motivation every single time. Motivation fades. Consistency compounds. So ask yourself, are you living in excuses and impulse, or are you willing to shift into discipline and consistency? Because that shift, that belief change, is the foundation of wealth. So here's the bottom line. Wealth isn't about luck, talent, or being born into the right family. It's about mindset, discipline, and the small, consistent actions that add up over time. You now know the truth. Excuses keep you broke, but action sets you free. You've seen how the wealthy think differently, how they delay gratification, plan with intention, and let their money work for them instead of the other way around. Now the choice is yours. You can keep repeating the same patterns and hoping for different results, or you can start shifting. Today, with whatever you have, right where you are. And if this video gave you even one new perspective, one wake-up call, or one small step you're ready to take, then imagine how much further we can go together. Here on Wealth Quench, we're building not just wealth, but freedom, confidence, and a mindset that lasts a lifetime. So take a second right now. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone you care about. Because wealth isn't just better when you build it, it's better when you share it. And remember, the best time to start building your future was yesterday. The next best time, it's right now.